Hey everybody, it's Josh. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about myofascial release, basically what is also known as trigger point therapy, foam rolling, massage therapy, smashing. There's lots of terms out there for basically just applying pressure to a muscle group so that to release tension and increase flexibility. It's very good for mobility, it's very good for flexibility. Increasing range of motion, but without getting sidetracked here, I just wanted to show you some tools that you can actually use to help you in loosening up tension that you can really find almost anywhere, and you probably already have some in your house. This is called a thunder stick or a tiger tail, or it's got many names. I don't really know what this one is called. Essentially, it's really just a nightstick, really. I mean, it's just a stick, okay? And basically what you do with it, just as kind of you can imagine with the description before, is you apply pressure, and I'll just show you here with the neck or trap. So there are lots of tools in your house that you can probably use. You don't have to necessarily go out and purchase things. Really, all you need is a stick that's somewhat solid, that's not gonna break when you apply pressure to both sides. Who's got a baseball bat? You know, if you got a baseball bat, it's kind of pretty much the same thing. Of course, you would want to go towards the thicker end, because the more towards the narrow end, you'll probably have a bigger chance of breaking it. You must be some beast if you can break it, but really, essentially, it's kind of the same thing. As long as it's firm, it's not going to bend or break, you can really do the same thing. You can apply the same amount of pressure as you could with the thunder stick or tiger tail, whatever it's called, and you can pretty much do the same thing as far as on your quads, hamstrings, calves. So again, if you have a baseball bat, if you have a rolling pins are actually kind of awesome. So that's one piece that you can use, great for the traps. But again, make sure it's something that is not going to break, that's not brittle. I mean, if you got an aluminum bat, that would be even better. We also have some techniques where you would use a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. And you would apply pressure to any which part of your body that's giving you trouble. But what you would do is you would put your body weight on top of the ball itself. What I like to do is I like to sit on top of something hard. Baseballs or softballs can even be used as well. There's something called like the Supernova, Rogue makes it. They're like 50 bucks. They're amazing, you know, and they're as big as a softball, and they've got the grooves in them, but they're 50 bucks. So if you're looking for something that has the same capabilities, a baseball would do just fine. The hardness, the durability of it's going to be pretty much the same. And then you have the seams that have similar, you know, the similar idea behind the grooves in the Supernova. So again, you know, if you're sitting on something hard, you know, all you have to do is lift your leg up, extend the knee a little bit, so that way you give that contract and relax action while you're doing your myofascial release, and just put your foot on top of something. I like to put my foot on top of a foam roller, because foam rollers roll, so I can change my range of motion as I'm rolling it out. And all you do is find the most tender spot, and the spot that probably gives you the most pain, and unfortunately, you sit right on top of it, you stop bitching, and you do it. Just kidding, but take your time. You know, if it hurts a lot, it's unbearable, you're seeing stars, you know, you can always resort to decreasing the hardness of it. You know, going to a tennis ball is just fine, you know. Subtract your pride here, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about listening to your body and what you can actually handle in the moment. Look, some people can, you know, roll on top of you know, the spikes from like Mortal Kombat. You know, we're not looking for that, really. We're just looking to help your body as it is right now. Okay, so also, you know, there are people also think about foam rollers as well. Foam rollers are pricey too. I mean, they're not that pricey. It's not like they're like hundreds of dollars, but you know, they're not $10 either. Some of them can range up to like $80. This one's called the Grid. I like it. They actually make one now that's a little bit more dense. This one's a little soft for me, but you know, as you do it more and more, you know, you're gonna have to upgrade yourself to harder and harder densities. But if you're not looking to spend money on something like this, you know, I get a PVC pipe and I cut it out, $7. $7, and this has the durability and the density of the Hulk. I don't know, but this ain't breaking. I don't care who is sitting on top of this. This is not breaking, and let me tell you, it hurts. But if you wanted to lessen the effect of this, You can actually wrap this in a blanket if you wanted to. You can wrap it in multiple blankets. I mean, if you really wanted to get crazy, you can wrap it in bubble wrap. They would pop anyway. That would be stupid. That's dumb. You basically have the maximum hardness that you would probably want, so you can easily grow with something that costs $7, you know? Just moving on from that, something that actually I learned rather recently. I read this book called Becoming a Supple Leopard. It was fantastic. I loved it. As far from a mobility standpoint, range of motion, flexibility, every facet of just human movement, it really taught me a lot of techniques that I really never knew about that, once you read about them and you kind of see them in the pictures, you're like, wow, why didn't I think of that? They're so, they seem like so makeshift, but they're brilliant and they are effective. I highly enjoyed this book. And I just wanted to do one with you to show you, what I learned and what is now going to help me moving forward. Whenever you're doing myofascial release, trigger point therapy, foam rolling, so on and so forth, a lot of the time you're relying on your own body weight. In order to get optimal pressure, you put all or some of your body weight on it, you balance on it however you need it. What I thought was really cool is using other tools to mimic your body weight. And one of them that I saw that he used rather often in the book was the kettlebell. For those of you who don't know, kettlebells are like the densest and the most, it basically just iron balls. This one weighs 35 pounds. 35 pounds fit into this small space, that's going to apply some serious pressure to one spot. Typically the hamstring is like one of the most difficult areas for you to foam roll or get those trigger point canes or balls in those areas, because when you're putting them beneath your hamstrings, the center of gravity in which you have to put pressure is not above your hamstrings, so it's really hard to get the pressure that you need. This is where the kettlebell, the weight of the kettlebell, really comes into effect here. And as I mentioned before, let's just say you have a baseball or a softball. Softball might be a little too high. You want to find something a little smaller. We'll use a baseball. And if you put it beneath your leg, on a hard surface, of course, we talked about that earlier. So right now I have the ball beneath me, and then I have the kettlebell right on top of my leg applying the pressure, and I'm just really hanging out. Instead of me sitting on top of the baseball and trying to maneuver and make sure I'm getting enough pressure on it, as well as making sure that I'm hitting the right exact spot. Right now, all I have to do is focus on getting that ball on the right spot, hold it there, and let the kettlebell do the work for me. It's absolutely fantastic. We're just gonna back up a bit so you can see the technique. So we're taking the baseball and we're going to put it beneath that hamstring, okay? And we're just gonna let the hamstring kind of hang. You can extend the leg, you can contract and relax as you're doing your myofascial release. You're applying pressure with that, solid ball. And then, instead of applying pressure and leaning forward or, pulling from beneath or just kind of getting in odd positions in order for you to apply pressure, you're going to put that kettlebell right on top. Kettlebell, heavy box, bag of dog food, you can use your imagination. Any heavy object that you see in the area, you're just going to pretty much put it on top of your thigh so it applies the pressure for you. Navigate through your hamstring, try to find those really tender areas and just kind of like hang out, You could watch TV, read a book, do office work, whatever you got to do, and just kind of navigate through all of the really tender areas. And you can do all of these things while you're sitting at your desk at work. Just make sure that you're contracting and relaxing the muscles as you are doing the work. Also ensure that you're not in a seated position the entire time. Take a moment, stand up, work on your range of motion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. I miss baseball. How many guys out there, you've got a picture from like camp or something like that? I was like, yo, I'm always looking for somebody who wants to have a catch with me. That sounds pathetic, but like, I'm just always looking for somebody who wants to play sports. Anybody want to play sports? Cool. is this all sticky? You guys hear that? Why is it all sticky? Anyway.
Achieve health.